Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I am the boat that emerges, and we are on day 54 of cycle 3, about to do a battle with the Icarian Harpy at level 4. Let's just jump straight over to the view of our, not Titan sheet, our Primordial sheet here to talk about what's changing in level 4, and then I'm going to talk about some new strategy that we can do based on being able to get the Cryptex technology. First, we'll start by saying hello to our wonderful tentacly friend here. Hello, wonderful tentacly friend. You are looking fine today. Then we're going to take a look at the level 4 traits. The 2-hit value is still 9+, movement still unlimited, and still takes 10 wounds to kill the Harpy. We are now escalating twice at the start of battle. We have +1 bonus to AT, and we still have the +1 danger per primordial attack. That +1 AT can be tricky sometimes just because we've seen it in past cycles, but it doesn't seem like a lot at first glance, but then it can often mean the difference between wounding and not wounding, where anyway. Sometimes it's not a big deal, sometimes it is a huge pain in the butt. But we have a brand new trait for the Harpy called Devour Whole. So I'm sure this is going to be really good for us and very beneficial. At the start of the Primordial round, we consume all Titans that are adjacent to the Icarian Harpy. Well, if you think about it from the perspective of maybe our goal was to make sure the Harpy was fed properly, then it is really beneficial. So this is super helpful for us. Now, the Devour Whole trait does change up how you want to approach the attacks, especially considering how frequently the Harpy moves after doing after you wound, or after doing as a wound response or as an instinct response. The Harpy has a ton of perform signature against the attacker, do a pull against the attacker, do pushback against the attacker. I think a majority of the responses that the Harpy has as wound responses or instinct responses can cause the Harpy to move. So you have to be careful about especially that last attacker who is going, because if something unexpected happens, like maybe you're like, oh, well, I have a weapon that's melee, but I have reposition. And then, it's the last Titan to go, and suddenly, oh shit, you get knocked down as a wound response. And now you're going to be next to the Harpy at the start of the Primordial round. It's pretty brutal. So with good planning, hopefully we can negate this most of the time. I forgot to take these Ambrosia tokens off the rapid adaptation table, but actually this is something that I like to do before I go into a Harpy fight, is just to get a visual feel for how my weapons spread out on the rapid adaptation board. So with Shadow Dancer, obviously we have 3 different weapons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 7 different weapons we can attack with. But you'll notice there's only 6 Ambrosia tokens on here, and that's because we have the Arclight Thrower, which gets to ignore the rapid adaptation trait. So the best part about that is that we are not going to have to worry about Truthbearer caring where these tokens are on the rapid adaptation board. The trade-off is that the Truthbearer can't really contribute to moving tokens to other spots for other Titans. So ignoring rapid adaptation, mostly great. But there is a downside where you have one Titan who is contributing less to moving tokens around on the board. And when we have 3 tokens that we can put down on the board here, it's noteworthy. You have to be very careful. It means that at least one Titan is going to be alternating between weapons that they attack with. And before I forget, let me put down these little reminders that we have to deal with extra AT and extra danger from the Primordial. And then let me clear these off. So we do have a pretty good spread of things across our rapid adaptation board, but we just have to be conscious that that spread is across 3 Titans and not 4. Okay, sorry, got token stuck over here. But I mentioned that there's a new strategy that we can do because we have the Argo Cryptex or the Cryptex technology. So we have now a bunch of new Argo Cryptexes we can equip on our Titans. And the Argo Cryptex beta is the one that I think can impact your strategy the most, especially in this Harpy fight. Because, I still need to give out the bleeding conditions here, because we can actually start off, and with good planning, we can clear off the bleeding tokens from every Titan before the Harpy even takes its first turn. And the way we're going to do that, first I'm going to sign out the bleeding conditions as we need them to be handed out. Actually, make sure this is based on danger, right? So yeah, so we're not really hampered by, we're not really limited by choosing, anyway, we can choose whoever we want because everybody's at 0 danger. That's what I'm trying to say. This last one doesn't really matter who it goes to. And then I need my little counter dice here. Let's say you can be 2, you can be 2, and then you have to be 3. The Titan that has the Argo Cryptex beta equipped should be the Titan that has the most bleeding tokens assigned to them at the start of this fight. And it should also be a Titan that has a weapon with at least range 4 on it. Because we need that Titan who has the Argo Cryptex beta. They're going to gain 2 fate at the start of the battle so that they can take a bonus turn before the Primordial. They need to be able to attack before the Primordial, or I'm sorry, before they move, so that they can use reposition to get adjacent to another Titan and remove tokens, because doing the stop bleeding other action is a free action. You have to do it either before both your movement and combat or between your movement and combat. You can't do it after your movement and combat. Also, we want to be using the beta, I'm going to call them the beta, even though they're amazing. The beta needs to be using their movement to be removing the bleeding tokens. So the way that I see this going is that on the Ascender's bonus turn, they're going to gain a bleeding token, go up to 4 bleeding tokens, do all that nonsense. It's not actually, they're at 0 danger, 0 fate, so they're actually not at a trauma level, so it's not going to matter. But they're going to go up to 4. And then they will be able to attack because they're at range 4, and the Razor Bow has range 3 to 6, so they're valid to attack. The Harpy is probably going to move. Whether that is going to be, it's going to stink if it's a signature, because then that's going to kind of mess up our plans, but we want to at least be expecting either a pull of some sort or pushback from the Harpy. Pushback, I think, is the best case scenario, or just no movement at all. Getting signature performed against us and gaining additional bleeding tokens does kind of screw up the strategy a little bit. But let's say we got like pull or something. Say like pull 3, 1, 2. Actually, I think pushback is more common than pull. So we also, sorry, I'm jumping around all over the place, but if we did pushback, we don't really care. I'm not really expecting to wound on this first attack. It's a nice thing if we do, but with this bonus AT, and we're using the Razor Bow, which doesn't have the bonus power, we're getting an auto break from Ascender, but you know, I'm not expecting to wound on this first one. So if we assume that the Harpy is going to go, 1, 2, 3 as a response and pushback, then we now need to be careful because of a few things. One, we don't want the Ascender to be next to the Harpy when the Harpy starts its actual turn, but also we want to be able to reposition away after the attack so that we can be adjacent to the Truth Bearer. So whatever, let's say we attack, whatever, we fail, we wound, that part doesn't really matter. The Harpy has changed its position and gotten closer. We reposition away, and now we're at a point where we still have the Ascender's movement left, and we still have all of our bleeding tokens, but we would do use the Ice Elixir to remove 2 bleeding tokens from Ascender. We would use Stop Bleeding Other to remove 2 bleeding tokens from the Truth Bearer, so that gets rid of bleeding completely from them. Then we would use a charge of telehealing because you can use these Argo abilities during this bonus turn. I remember this was asked, I might have asked this, or somebody, I don't know, a few years ago in the unofficial Discord server, but we did get a response from ITU saying that you can use, and it might have been confirmed again since then, but anyway, we would use a charge of telehealing to remove the bleeding tokens from our Game Changer Titan who is across the board there, and then we can finally use the movement on the Ascender to remove 2 more bleeding tokens from them, and that would clear off all bleeding tokens before the Primordial even goes, which is excellent because that means that predation should not trigger on the first Primordial round. Now that's not guaranteed to be how it happens because a few things can screw that up, where if the Harpy ends up doing signature against the attacker as a response, that's going to cause an issue. If the Harpy ends up giving additional bleeding tokens, and actually something we should probably do is you should probably start with the Ice Elixir first. So that way you don't end up going over your bleeding limit and dying that way. So do want to be careful about that. But at least the way we have it right now, like we are set up to be able to perfectly remove 4 tokens from ourselves, 2 tokens from other people. Gaining any extra bleeding tokens during that bonus turn is going to put a little wrench in the gears and mess things up a little bit. But most likely still leave you in a... any extra bleeding tokens I think is going to end up causing predation to trigger in the first Primordial round. A few other notes on things you want to be aware of if you're doing that strategy. Number 1 is that the positioning of these 2 Titans is important, because if we attack with Ascender while he is in this starting position and the Harpy decides, okay, I'm going to do pushback, this could screw you a little bit depending on how much like reposition and motivate you have, because now the Harpy is going to be adjacent to 2 Titans at the start of the Primordial round unless we can, number 1, motivate them both in a way that, like, let's say we do motivate 2 against the Truth Bearer and reposition 1 against on the Ascender. That works out because now our Titans are still next to each other and not adjacent to the Primordial. But I recommend just, instead of having to worry about that, have your Titan that is attacking, have your Beta Titan be the one that is in a direct diagonal against the Harpy, so that way you can get more flexibility with resolving like pushback and pulls and where the direction ends up taking them. Additionally, you want to be careful about pulls as well, because if you're totally banking on just being able to reposition and you get pulled in closer, well, in this case, I wouldn't have enough reposition to be able to get where I need to go relative to the Truth Bearer. So that's why, I like to have a combination of reposition and motivate on this Titan that's going first. It gives you more flexibility in not getting screwed over if you don't get the response that you're looking for from that first BP card. Anyway, sorry, that was a much more long-winded intro than I was expecting. But I wanted to go into that level of detail because this is a type of strategy where, levels 1 through 3, not that big of a deal. Level 4, it becomes more important because you're getting more bleeding tokens on you at the start of the fight. And you also have the technology to be able to do this strategy. So you want to take advantage of it. This is also very important when you're doing Mnestis Theater. Like, you need to have a plan for getting those bleeding tokens off as soon as possible in Mnestis Theater because of the number of primordial attacks that can happen against you. So if you're not doing this strategy during the campaign, you're going to be okay. It's not that big of a deal. It becomes a much bigger deal in Mnestis Theater, but then we can carry some of that strategy over into these campaign fights, these timeline battles, and just make our win rate a little bit higher. My win rate is very, very high. I think we're mostly focused on reducing our likelihood that a Titan will die during this fight. All that being said, let's jump over to our Titan loadout view. We'll take a look at all of our loadouts in closer detail. Then I will make sure that I resolve all the start of battle effects, and we can get this show on the road here. While we're in this view, let's also draw our minor trauma to determine facing direction. It'll be facing north. North. Then I have a bunch of other start of battle effects I need to resolve, like Ambrosia tokens. Let me put those on real quick. Boom, Ambrosia tokens done. We'll do our Argo Cryptex beta start of battle effect last. Oh, we also need to draw an obol for the Cyclopean hand mirror. So let me jump back over to this macro view. Boom, you live. All right. Wait, did that? Sorry, I'm just checking my, okay. I was like, did my camera stop working? No, it did not. Let me shuffle these up. I put new sleeves on most of the obol cards because they were getting kind of worn, and like I couldn't really tell which was which, but like I don't know, they were different for sure. So I was like, I don't want to like worry about thinking if I actually know what the obol card is. I'd rather just have fresh sleeves on them. Let's put this charge here. I think I've only like maybe once or twice with the Cyclopean hand mirror. I think most times I've been able to draw the you live at the start of battle. I've been using that to show you died. And then other small note, I am using two different types of little tokens here. Some of these are yellow, some of them are the red ones that I've been using. And they both have green check marks on the top side. They're I'm not using them to indicate anything different. I've just been running out of these ones with the red backside. So generally I'm just using these yellow ones on the Argonaut readiness and the Nemoses. Oh, what am I doing for these ones? Okay, yeah. So just Argonauts and their Nemoses are getting the yellow ones, and then gear and everything else gets red, but it means the same stuff. I'm just limited in my supplies, and I don't feel like making more of these red ones. Oh my gosh, I'm almost 20 minutes into this video, and we haven't even started the fight. All right, let me do a quick scan to see if I'm missing any start of battle effects. The last one we need to resolve is just gaining the 2 fate to enable our Ascender to take a turn before the Harpy. And then I think we're good. Okay, so Ascender is going to take their turn. And we will go from 3 bleeding tokens to 4. Let me double check the wording on bleeding to make sure that we don't actually need to resolve a trauma draw since we have no danger. Yeah, no, I think we're okay. So we just have 4 bleeding. I'm going to use Ice Elixir, go up a fate to remove 2 of those bleeding. Then we might as well just use Telehealing now. And then we will remove the 2 bleeding from Game Changer. Comes off. Then I think we can do our attack. So we will gain a Rage. And double check on this sheet. Nothing there. Actually, I do want to use Arrow Barrage. And I think I'm actually going to use it for a break token. Because we have +4 to our precision right now. So we only need a 5 or higher to hit. It's unlikely I'm going to wound, but I think the path to me wounding is I get lucky and I get 2 hits, and then I have 2 break tokens in there. I'm not, knock on wood, I'm not too worried about a full miss right now, but obviously famous last words. So we need 5 or higher to hit. Boom, that is a crit miss, which is no negative effects for us. I will fate reroll that one. Why not? Oh, also I need a couple more counter dies here. I need a counter die for your generic tokens, and I need a counter die for our wound stack there. So we have at least one hit, so we're good there. Reroll this one. A crit! Hell yeah! Crit miss to crit hit. Love that. We're going to get an extra break token there, and we will draw our BP. And we have the Tentacle Appendage. AT value of 5, but we have the bonus AT, so it's really 6. Wound effect is knockdown, pushback 3, fail is pull 3. Okay, so at least those should... I don't think we're at risk of having to trigger predation in the first Titan round, or first Primordial round now. We're going to get 5 reds for this. Let's roll these one at a time. Let's make it dramatic. So we need 6. We have 2 break. Okay, 1. It's below the average that we need. Okay, 2, 3. 4, 5. We just need 1 more power. 6. What we got here? 7. Right? Did I count right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom! That is a nice little... Oh, right, and we got the crit. Disable the pull X keyword on Harpy attacks. Oh, I think I've crit on this. I think I crit on that in the last Harpy fight. That feels familiar. So that... I don't think it benefited us last time either. I think I mentioned it before. I think that is very helpful for the Harpy's ultimate. There's better crit effects out there, but actually let me... do this as a reminder, so don't forget. And then we have to put a rapid adaptation token on bow. We will get a BP2 in here. We're already at 3 of these cards are BP2s. 3, 2, 1. BP1. Damn. I actually kind of want to start getting the BP2s early because I have good weapons. I just want to end this fight as soon as possible by hitting high BPs. Take out an AI1, put in an AI2. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, I'll take the AI1. That's nice. These come out, those come out. We have Elation. I think we're going to get a total of opening 3, black 1. We can grab these opening tokens. Black 1. Don't think we get anything else here. But we have the motivate, obviously. So yeah, let's do our reposition 1 to go here. Actually, is that what I want to do? Need to gain priority target token because so Harpy is most likely going to be coming after the Ascender. So how do we want to do positioning? Let's do motivate 1, so you get back there. Let's do motivate 1 here as well, and then I won't use reposition. And then we'll activate cumbersome on the razor bow, and that will end the attack. And then we still have our movement, so our turn is still continuing. We're going to use stop bleeding other to get rid of 2 bleeding tokens from the truth bearer. And then last but not least, we will use our movement to remove the final 2 bleeding tokens on ourselves. And that went about as well as we could have hoped. That was an excellent first bonus turn. 2 thumbs up. 5 out of 5. And at the end of our turn, we do need to gain a combat fatigue token. So we are not going to be able to attack next turn. Technically, we actually could use our time skip Argo ability to be able to get rid of that combat fatigue and make it so that Ascender attacks next round, but that's okay if he doesn't. I think I'd rather use that extra attack ability on somebody who's stronger, like using it on a Truth Bearer who gets to ignore the rapid adaptation trait completely is pretty sweet. So that ends the first bonus turn. Now we go into the Primordial round. Go ahead and draw our AI card. Is there any... Yeah, nobody's adjacent, so we don't have to worry about that consumption. So we do AI1, which is the Lacerating Swipe. Target is non-bleeding Titan in sight. So that is going to just default to our priority target, who is the wonderful Ascender. Give me 1 second. I need to fix the blurriness on that camera because I did not do that after doing my Titan loadout view. Ooh, that's bad. Sometimes the blurriness on this is just unpredictable. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Actually, it might also just have to do with the brightness, because if I film in the mornings, obviously it's going to start to get brighter. It's kind of bright now, so maybe that changed it. What do we have? Lacerating swipe, non-bleeding Titan in sight, move and push back 2, and attack. Move, we will go 1, 2, 3, go here. Yeah, didn't even think about the pushback in this case for the movement. Yeah, there's some areas where I did not think ahead here, because now that I'm thinking about it, I also should have had, I probably should have had Game Changer start with bleeding and be closer to the Ascender, because Game Changer has a melee weapon, the Truth Bearer has a ranged weapon. I should have had Truth Bearer start out further away, but oh well, I made a mistake. Actually, maybe we can make up for that a little bit here. What if we... Oh, also, I did not reestablish the Ascender's time anchor at the start of his turn. Still should have done that. Maybe if I do a reflex, just keep gaining fate for the Ascender here. Am I about to gain fate from this? Ooh, just 1 fate though. You're fine. I could do that, and you go 1, 2, and then push back 1, 2. Yeah, let's do that. Then the Truth Bearer doesn't have to use anything. He's in range to attack. Game Changer could go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, and the Game Changer actually doesn't even have the extra movement anymore. All right, another slight change. We're not going to use that reflex. Undo that. We're going to go... we're going to use a charge of Chronosphere, warning system. Go 1, 2, 3, or... Oh yeah, I have to do that. 1, 2, 3, I can't go north. And then move, push back 2, 1, 2, go there. Yeah, all right, whatever. I'm trying to plan too much, and I don't even know what his responses are going to be like after the first BP. We're going to do Lacerating Swipe. We have 3 hits we have to evade, and we did 9 or higher to evade them. Oops, did not mean to roll that. Oh well. No evades. We'll get 3 free rerolls from Shalusalom. That is still no evades. Blocking isn't really going to help us here because it's just a binary. If the attack hits, we do stuff. So we're going to gain bleeding 1. Bleeding 1. And actually, that messes me up. Never mind. Bleeding 1, if the attack hits, it deals 4, so it's going to deal 5 danger and 1 fate. We have armor die here. We reduce it by 1. My armor dice have not been great. So we're going to gain 4 danger, 1 fate. We're about to resolve our trauma draw based off of 5 fate. So unfortunately, we're going to have to draw a major off of this. Major trauma. Show of willpower. You may discard 2 condition tokens, a tokenless condition card, or an ambrosia token, or lose 2 fate. I most likely want to get rid of the bleeding. Is there a world where I care about losing the 2 fate? No, I think losing that bleeding is going to be more impactful, so bleeding comes off. Goodbye. That'll go to the back of the major trauma deck. And then knockdown. I could reflex away from that, but I don't really care. Could also roll out. I don't really want to gain the fate for that. Yeah, we have plenty of Inspire from other sources. Technically, every other Titan could Inspire. The Shadow Dancer would have to use Shade Shield, but yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So, get knocked down. And that'll end our Primordial attack. Then Predator is going to trigger, and we don't have anybody with bleeding tokens, period. So we do not care. Do not care about your predatory nature. I almost called you Hyperborean. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I almost called you Hyperborean Harpy. I need more caffeine, apparently. At the start of our Titan round, I'm going to use the 13th Muse Grand Cannon shot that can potentially give us a -AT. I actually did debate this time if I want to swap this out for the shot that can remove a token from the rapid adaptation board, mainly because I have a Titan who doesn't help move tokens around. But I chose not to, so we'll see if that was a mistake. 7! All right. Oh, you know what? Also, something in the last adventure video, I basically pretended to do the Dahaka fight. I didn't actually do it. I just rolled some dice and lost some Titans. But something else I should do, go to cargo, resources. Something else I should do is probably lose at least one additional burden resource to say like, oh, I got a successful roll on the 13th Muse Cannon for this same shot. That gets fired, and we're going to get a -AT in for the rest of the round. I also don't really know why I moved the Game Changer back the way I did, because I think in my head I was like, oh, well, I have to move them adjacent to each other to get bleeding tokens off, but I didn't need to do that. Just some weird behavior. I wanted to either go, I mean, I can't attack with Game Changer, so I don't want to go with him. I have to go either with Truth Bearer or Shadow Dancer. I think I'll choose Truth Bearer first. Activate you. This over to here to reestablish that time anchor. Oh, I need to put charges on a few of my gear cards here. Need 3 charges on Arclight Thrower and 2 charges on the Fate Safer for Fate Safe. I haven't crafted the Fate Safer. Oh, and these can get reset. Off, that comes off. I think once again I'm gonna use Arrow Barrage to put a break token in here. And then we're gonna attack. To attack we have to gain a rage. We also have to spend 1 charge and commit. Need to gain a fate. I move the, oh wait, can I use the Atlantean Oscillator on this? Attach to a weapon, gear card, the weapon. Okay. I couldn't remember if the Atlantean Oscillator had to be on a melee weapon, but it does not. We're going to have a bonus of 4 to precision, and we have 5 attack dice. 3, 4, 5. Am I missing some of my attack dice here? 2, 4, 5. I thought there was 6 black dice. Maybe I'm wrong. Huh, I don't know. All right, so we need +4. We need 5 or higher here to hit. Ooh, that's a full hit right off the bat. We can spiral 1 for free. And I think with Atlantean Oscillator, like even though we're adding an extra die, I think a full hit is still 4 dice. So I'm going to spiral 1. I'm not going to try to crit on this because I don't really want to crit miss. Do that. Okay, great. Still a full hit. And we're going to get 5 red dice from our weapon and 1 black die from our Titan power die. Then we're going to get Auto Hope 1. And draw our BP card. Humanoid limb. always draw this card during Harpy battles. AT of 4, which is really an AT of 5, but 4. So this is basically just canceling out the bonus AT. So we need, let's see, wound response is going to be pushback 3. That's not too bad. Okay. Should be plenty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, we're good. That wounds. That is a strong weapon. Oh, pushback 3. Go 1, 2, 3. There. I'll go in our wound stack, go up to 2 wounds. Get another BP2 in here. All right, come on, let's get, I want to start getting BP2s and 3s on here. 3, 2, 1. Oh, come on. Damn. All right, AI 1 comes out. AI 2 goes in. 3, 2, 1. Well, okay, I am obsessed with getting the 1s on top. I'm fine with it for AI deck. I'm annoyed about it with BP deck. Back to this screen. These come out. Clear that. We don't have to worry about cumbersome because we have tireless with not having a 3-handed weapon for Truth Bearer. We're going to get opening 3, fire 1 just from our arc light thrower. And we get break 1 from our Cryptex. I'll just take that one. Get a break and an opening from our Kratos table. We get Rouse 1. We get Elation 1. Wow, it's a crazy Kratos pool to have at Rage 1 right now. Ooh, I don't have any Motivate, do I? I don't have any way, because now the Primordial is out of position from Game Changer and Shadow Dancer. There was no window of opportunity before that pushback. Oh, we do have Inspire. So we can remove this knockdown from the Ascender. Okay, I'll probably end up needing to use... well, both Shadow Dancer and Game Changer have semi-sync. Okay, yeah, I think I see how I want to handle this. Did I do Elation for Truth Bearer? Let's see, 3 opening from the weapon, a 4th opening from our thing. I think I did. I think I just didn't remove the opening token. Or I'm sorry, remove the Ambrosia token. So I'll just remove an Ambrosia. And I'm just going to reposition here. I don't have a great reason for why. I just feel like I should. I still have my movement as well. I don't really have a reason to use it. I don't have a good enough reason to move elsewhere. I think I want to stay kind of close to, maybe I should actually move closer to the Ascender. Yeah, actually, let's do this. So we'll reposition, where was I at here? So reposition 1, 2, and then movement. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have the Ascender come over this area as well. We'll keep people roughly in pairs. Actually, I'll have you go here, and then I'll move Ascender more over here. Sure, okay, I'm overthinking this. That's gonna end Truth Bearer's turn. Do one more turn, and then I'm gonna have to go take a break for a minute. I think I want to go with Game Changer before Shadow Dancer because Game Changer doesn't have reposition, so I don't want him to be the last Titan to attack. So let's go with Game Changer. Activate. Again, who the heck knows why I put you back here. Did not need to do that. We're going to have to gain a Fate and gain semi-sync. So we're going to have 2 movements that we can do basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to use that first one, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3 here to use that second one. Before I forget, let me give myself a movement fatigue. Nope, that's not a movement fatigue. Movement fatigue. And I have just an excessive amount of precision bonus right now. So let's attack. Yeah, is there anything else I wanted to do before attacking? I don't think so. No. Oh, and we have to commit, so we'll gain a fate as well. We need a 2 or higher. Boom. That's a 5. I'm not gonna spiral that. Maybe if it were a BP3. Let's get some practice rolls in here too. I wanna get some of the bad rolls out of these crit dice. Okay. Oh, that's a crit. Now I have to reset my... Oh, no. No! Now I'm getting all the good rolls out. Okay, that's good ones to get rid of. Okay, that was a good one to get rid of. All right. Now I think they're ready. All right, so we got a hit. We're going to have 3 black and a white die. I don't think we have any first ability tokens. Oh, shoot. Actually, I also forgot that did I do Inspire in the first ability window last round? Or last attack? I don't think I did. I think I did in the second ability window. I always for some reason, I keep doing that in the second ability window. Let's draw our... Oh, we are attacking with Slab Sword, right? Yes, there's no bonus AT here. And we're going to have to deal with AT value of 4. Okay, that should be easy peasy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's plenty. All right, that wounds. We're gonna get pushed back 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You go there. Then gain bleeding up to 1. This should actually work out because Ascender should be able to remove the bleeding from Game Changer. Bleeding 1. And then that'll go into our wound stack. Three. All right, come on. Do not give me the other. Oh, no, I think this should be. No, I guess there's one more BP1 in here. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2. Oh, gosh. 3, 2, 1. BP2. AI1 comes out. AI2 goes in. 3, 2. Oh my gosh. 1. AI2. Put a token on Slab Sword. Then I will use the double fate here to ignore the exhaust on Daedalus Flight. All right, so we do have Elation, so let me get rid of the Ambrosia token now. We're gonna end up getting 2 opening and a break from our Kratos table. We'll get Hope 4, the beautiful Hope 4. 3, 4. And then we keep the Rouse 1. Then we have Inspire 1 and Motivate 1. Put these away. I probably want to use the Motivate 1 on Shadow Dancer. That would let me get into its blind spot. So yeah, let's do that. That will end Game Changer's turn. And with that, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's go next with Shadow Dancer. So we'll reestablish her time anchor here. We will use our movement to go. I mean, I guess I could go next. No, I couldn't go next to the Game Changer and attack at the same time. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Use up all of our movements so we don't have to slide anymore. Oh, I need to give Ascender a generic token. I just realized that as I was looking over there. But I was also debating if I should have given Jerusalem to Shadow Dancer instead. And I'm wondering if I should use Hero by mistake to get the priority target off of Ascender and onto Shadow Dancer. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's gain a fate. And we will get the priority target token. I'm going to use the Paradox, I think, to attack. I reduce the chance I'm about to full miss. I can save Dehaka Blade for a later attack for like a BP3 or something like that. And I could attack with Shade Shield, but it makes me a little nervous doing that because I'd only have 2 black dice and a white die with no power rerolls. That makes me a little antsy to do that, so I don't think I want to do that. So I'm going to attack with Paradox. I don't think there's anything else I want to do before I attack. Gain a Rage and a Fate. We will get 2 dice. We're going to have, what, +1, +2, +3, 4, +5 to precision total from being in the blind spot. So we have to get a 4 or higher. It's a 4 and a 5. Okay. Then those come out. We'll get Auto Break 1 from our Paradox. And we will draw our BP2. We're going to have to deal with a net total of +1 AT on this. Oh, dang, we have to do Perform Signature against the attacker. Now I kind of regret getting that priority target token. We got 3 black and a red for this. We need to get 7 on the dice total. Do I want to use Death Follows? Oh, there is a Rouse token in there, so I do have the 1 power reroll. Yeah, let's use Death Follows here just in case. Rather safe than sorry. Boom. We have 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that should be plenty. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are good. Perform Signature against the attacker, so that's going to get queued up. Put this over here. Put that in our wound stack. We go to 4 wounds. That'll give us a BP3 in our deck. 3, 2, 1. BP3! Alright, I'm happy with that. AI 2 comes out. AI 3 goes in. It is not the ultimate. Next card is not the ultimate either. 3, 2, 1. AI 2. Cool. Oh, and then Rapid Adaptation. We will put 1 on other. These come out. These come out. Clear our Kratos pool. We will get Break 2 from the Paradox. And then that will be exhausted from Cumbersome. What else we got here? Just a closing and a break and reposition 2. I don't know if I actually want to use the reposition because of Signature coming against me. Take these out. Yeah, I don't see a need to use the reposition. I think that's everything that I have for my attack. Now we'll do Talon Scratch against Shadow Dancer. We have 3 dice. Need a 10 or higher. Do we have any free rerolls? We do not. It's a 5 and a 3 and a 1. Does not even add up to a single 10. Let's see. Do I want to reroll any of these things? I do have a block from the Shade Shield. I might do that. Oh, I forgot about Pushback and Regurgitate. So first let me do that. Pushback 2. Regurgitate does not get placed because we're on indestructible tiles right now. Let's block one of them. Gain a Fate. So we're going to take 2 hits. 2 hits is going to mean 5 danger that we can try to reduce here. Reduce it by 1. How many of these? I feel like whenever I roll the white power die, I always roll just a 1 potential symbol, and that's, I only have a 33% chance of doing that each time I roll. What, we go up to 4 danger, which is going to be a major trauma. And predict moves, look at the top card of the BP deck. BP or AI deck, you may put it back on top of the corresponding deck or onto the corresponding discard pile. Normally I'd prefer to look at the, sorry, I'm just looking at my, that's so bright there on that side. Okay. Normally I'd look at the BP card, but I don't want to risk that because we have Quantum Eye enabled now and I don't want to risk gaining 3 fate. So let's just take a look at our AI card here and just see what we're going to draw. It's going to be Tentacle Peck. I can put it in this spot here so you can read it as well. So this is going to be non-bleeding Titan in sight. That means that it's going to, tiebreaker will go to Shadow Dancer. So I don't think we're going to be able to get her in the blind spot, so she will probably be attacked by this. Movement attack. Okay, if you have a shield or helm, each hit deals 3 danger. I mean, that's tough. She might be drawing an obol. At least we have second chance. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's a way that I can make her not get targeted by this, though. I could use time skip and have the Ascender attack with Shalusalam. All right, I'm going to think about that. Put this, I'm just going to put this face up for now because we know that that top card is that value. Back to this. This trauma will go back top of the, or to the back of the major deck. And after attack, knock back 3. Does this help me at all? I don't think so, because the only way I avoid her becoming the target of this is if I... Oh, interesting. I could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 between Chronosphere Warning System and what's it called? Pursuer Ultimatum. All right, I don't know how creative I can be here because this knockback kind of prevents me from getting into the blind spot before the Harpy goes, and I don't really want to use the Ascender to use Shalusalam to attack. I think that's going to mess up a few other things, so yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to avoid, what's her name? The Shadow Dancer from taking this next attack. But I will still use Pursuer Ultimatum, Gain of Fate. I'm going to use that and just go here because I think that will help prevent the Harpy from getting too far away from the other Titans the next Titan round. That means we're not going to get knocked back. And the signature ends. I could use the Shadow Dance ability too, but I don't think that's going to help the situation at all here. All right, I'm overthinking this. We have Transient Death Argo ability, so even if the Shadow Dancer dies from this next AI card, we can bring her back to life. All right. So lastly, we will go with the Ascender. Activate, reestablish your time anchor. Then we will move 1, 2, 3, 4. Go adjacent to the Game Changer. Do Stop Bleeding Other, and we take away the Game Changer's bleeding, so nobody is bleeding. Oh, I did forget to do... Shadow Dancer should have had bleeding 1 on her from that Primordial signature. But we are going to be using... I don't even know why I put this here, because we're just going to take it away with the last charge of Telehealing. Just want to make sure we don't have to trigger predation in the next round. Now we have to use our combat action to remove the fatigue token. And that will end our Titan round. Go ahead and flip these back over. Clear off our Argo abilities. And now that telehealing is done, we have a nice place where we can swap in Transient Death. Negative AT token comes out as well. And we will start our Primordial round by checking for adjacency to see if Devour Hole triggers. There are no Titans that are adjacent, so we don't have to worry about that. Now we will draw our AI card that we know is going to be the Tentacle Peck. This is going to be non-bleeding Titan Insight, so everybody is tied, except for Shadow Dancer, who is the priority target. She will get attacked. There is no pushback here, so let's just have, oh wait, let's see, we're going to have move, we're going to have regurgitate, and then, oh, I have to, I think sometimes I do the move and then regurgitate. I have to be more careful with that, because technically the regurgitate comes first. The regurgitate happens, but doesn't get placed, so Harpy will go up here and attack the Shadow Dancer. It's 3 dice. We need a 10 or higher to evade. We do not have 7 fate right now, so don't worry about that. No evasions. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, because I just paused the video for a while to think about how I want to handle this. I do need to put another opening token in there, or I do get to because of Aster's opening 1. But right now what I'm trying to think about is a combination of, do I want to spend fate for re-rolling? What is the best chance I can give Shadow Dancer for surviving, because we're about to face knockdown. Right now we are at risk of taking a total of 10 danger, which will put us at 14, which means we're going to get the You Died Horribly Obol in the deck. But we also have Dance of Fate with Shadow Dancer, where she can add 2 fate to add an extra You Live Obol to the deck. So that would bring it back to a 50-50 chance. But I also, okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking out loud. I should just think about this for a second. All right, I think the simple solution here is that we can guarantee we're going to have a 50-50 shot of the Obol draw with You Live by just not re-rolling any of these, not doing the rollout of the spherical armor, because we can use second chance even when we're knocked down. So we're just going to accept that we're going to get knocked down. So let's take that. Do we have any other effects that can help us to avoid the knockdown, actually? Ooh, actually, nope, I changed my mind. Here's what I want to do. Maybe wasting a charge of Chronosphere Warning System, but I think it'll be worth it to increase our chances of surviving this Obol. Oh, wait, never mind. Nope. Chronosphere Warning System isn't going to help us because I can't just use that right before, or right in between doing the evasion roll and taking the danger. Okay, back to the original plan. You're going to suffer knockdown. We will deal with it later. I know I have a knockdown card handy somewhere. Here it is. Knockdown. And then bleeding 2. I definitely have bleeding cards handy. Bleeding 2. We're going to get 3 danger per hit plus the 1 bonus danger, which is going to bring us to 14 danger total. Except we are going to do our armor roll, which is guaranteed to reduce it by at least 1 danger. 3 danger. Does that help us much? We go from getting 10 danger to 7. No, we're still going to be at 11, so that's still going to be an Obol draw. We go up to 9 danger on here. And we have our second chance. I can't use Dance of Fate since I'm knocked down. So we'll just draw our Obol card. It's going to be the You Died Obol. Then we will discard our Fate Safe and second chance this card. Just come off. All right. Let's do a little shuffle here, not pay attention to my shuffling so I forget where that you die double is. Distracting myself. Okay. Stopping in 3, 2, 1. Roll a die. 4, that's even so we don't change anything up. You live! Ah, you can gain a rage, Shadow Dancer. Nice. There arguably actually might have been better from a rage perspective to just have her die and then we use transient death to get her back because everybody else would gain a rage. Oh, sorry, I'm not shuffling these on camera. But I'd rather save transient death and just use it as a backup and not rely on it. 8. Okay, so that'll stay as is. Draw. Leave those over here. There we go. Okay. What else we doing here? Oh, that's it. All right. That is resolved. And she is the only person who has bleeding tokens at this point, so Predator does not trigger. Wonderful. Now we are done with the Primordial round. We're going to go back into our Titan round. We will roll a d10 here to see if we can charge. Nice! We get our negative AT token back. Go back to Scribe. Let's lose a relief shell fragment this time. And we will get our negative AT token in there. Fire our second shot at the cannon. Oh, I'm silly. I totally could have used rollout on the spherical armor and still gotten the... You still get to use the armor roll for that, right? No, you can't, because you don't get to use it if the armor is exhausted. Never mind. I did the right thing. Also, we'll swap out telehealing for transient death. Boom. Then I will start this round with Truthbearer going. Reestablish your time anchor. And then as our first order of business, we will do an attack. So we're going to gain a rage, gain a fate, spend a charge. Actually, before we do that, we might want to gain... Remember to use Arrow Barrage, because we only have +3 to our 2-hit value. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get 2 opening tokens. So now we only need a, what, 4 or higher? Yep, we have +5, so we need 4 or higher, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice to roll. That is 4 hits and a miss. So let's just use the closing token to see if we can reroll. Do I care about rerolling this? It is a BP3, so yes, I am going to reroll this with the closing die. It's still a 2, so no crits, but we do get a full hit, which is going to mean 5 reds and a black. Then we get Auto Hope 1. Draw our BP3. Evolutionary Gland. AT value of 8, which means we're going to have to get 9 on the dice. Right? 7 on the dice after our bonus power. And the minus AT. So 7 on the dice is what we need. Instinct. Gain bleeding up to 3. Place an additional generic token as a rapid adaptation token on any space of the Icarian adaptation board. Ah, dang. I don't think my ignore rapid adaptation trait would affect this instinct effect because the instinct effect is separate. Damn. Well, that will make the fight a little bit harder. Okay. I'm gonna roll all these. Not a good roll. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the dice. How many power reroll do we get? Ooh, just the 1. If I reroll a red, I'm gonna have 2/3, yeah, 1/3 chance of not getting what I need. Because I need at least one power symbol on the red. If I reroll the black, then I would need another potential. Like I would need. Okay, I think I would just have. I think it's better for me to reroll the black. Okay, let's do that. Come on, baby. Damn it. This is where that damn +1 AT at level 4 really becomes annoying. I had a... that's really frustrating. The hell? I hate when I like go to reroll a die and I just roll the same thing on it. Of course, like now I can't even roll that one side again. Just put it there. What the heck? All right. I mean, I failed a wound. Gain bleeding up to 3. Bleeding up to 3. Place an additional generic token as a rapid adaptation token on any space of the Icarian adaptation board. I'm going to put it on... I'm going to put it on Cestus, Hammer, and Discus. Right there. Okay, so these are all going to come out. This will go into the BP discard pile, which I may just be trying to use the Haka Blade next. And just go after that card again. These will all get cleared out. We're going to get opening 3 and fire 1. Then, let's see, break 1, rouse 1, break 1, rouse 1. Then break in an opening and burden, but Ascender has nothing to burden off. Break 1, opening 1. Oh, and then Elation, so we get another opening token. That comes out, that comes out, that comes out. Oh, shoot, and I should have used Inspire during the first ability window to get her back up. Shadow Dancer is no longer knocked down. Then I'll reposition here. And at the end of my turn, for my movement, I'm just going to use my movement to get rid of 2 bleeding tokens for myself. So I'm down to 1. And that ends Truthbearer's turn. Next, let's go with Ascender. Reestablish the time anchor. And then I'm going to go, let's see, I want to end here because I want to attack from here. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to prevent me from slipping too far. I'll use a free action to do Stop Bleeding Other to take the bleeding tokens off of Truthbearer. Oh, no, sorry, this one. Then I will attack with Shalusalam. I'm gonna end up adding a total of +2 AT to this BP card, which could be tough. We have +7, so we just need a 2 or higher on these. Is there anything that I'm missing? I don't think so. Okay, that's 1/1, so I will Fate reroll that. Go to 6 Fate. 2. Okay, and double check my math here. +1 from Shalusalam, +1 from Arga Cryptex Beta. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. A 2 still hits. We're good. It's gonna end up being 3 black and a red. We'll get auto break 1 in there as well. And Hollow Eye. That's my... Okay, that's still looking pretty readable. Hollow Eye, 6 AT, but we're gonna have to add 2 from Rapid Adaptation, a third from the bonus AT at level 4, then minus 1 AT from this. So we are at 8 total, and we have 2 power rerolls. Okay, definitely keeping that. See, that's, well, how much do we have here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I should reroll both of these. Like, I only really need to reroll this one, but I feel like when I've rerolled one power die, my luck has been terrible. So let's reroll both of these. Did that give us what we needed? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the dice. Yeah, we're good. And our reward is perform signature against the attacker. Okay. So let's wound this. We're gonna get the priority target, which at least we pull it off of Shadow Dancer. So I'll go there, we'll get a 5th wound, we'll get a BP3 in our wound, or BP deck. 3, 2, 1, BP2. AI2 comes out. AI3 goes in. 3, 2, 1. AI3. We have to move a token to shield. Let's take the 1 off of Slab Sword. Or actually, wait. I'll probably go next with Shadow Dancer next. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to go with Shadow Dancer next, so let's do everything we can to make her next attack easier. Back to Ascender, these come out, goes out, that comes out. Clear this. We would have been at essentially Rage 3. Okay, so we are going to get Hope 1, Opening 2 from our Jerusalem. Opening 2. Then we will get Black 1, Break 1, Opening 1. 1, Black 1, Opening 1. Let's remember that signature is coming up, so let me put this here. We're gonna have to deal with pushback. So I'll probably want to do maybe like this. So the sender gets pushed back to here. We can reflex out of the way for the knockback. Yeah, all right, I'm okay with this. And we get an Opening 1 because of Circe Guard. She and Aster both have that same boon. All right, so now Talon Scratch is going to happen. Go move here, push back 2. I'll have 3 dice, 3 hits to evade. 10 or higher. Nope, nothing. We do get 3 free rerolls. That is super cocked. That's 2 hits. That's still really cocked. That's not an evasion, so it's still 3 hits. I am guaranteed to not be drawing an Opal right now because, so I'm going to get Bleeding 1. That'll happen regardless. Bleeding 1. And we're about to take 7 danger. But our armor roll will allow us to mitigate at minimum one of the, at minimum one of those. So we cannot, we won't be drawing a grave or a noble here. All right, so we're about to take 7 danger. See how much we reduce it by. Reduce it by 3, so we only take 4, going up to 8 danger. That's still grave trauma. What do we got? Disembowel. Do we have 6 fate? We can second chance. Haha. And because of our armor roll, we still get to do, we'll go up to 9 danger. Not going to cause us to draw an Obol. So this can get Discarded, and we resolve that doesn't count as us surviving that obel for second chance. So we get this Burning Heart. Hell yeah, baby! Bonus attack. That's not, anytime I get a bonus attack, this makes the video for me. Makes me a happy boy. Stand up. You may lose 2 danger and or gain 1 rage. I think I will do both of those. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason not to. So we're at 3 rage, 7 danger. You may immediately perform a bonus attack. Ooh. Uh-oh. This is where Quantum Armory would be really nice to have, because I don't think I can take advantage of this bonus attack. Because I can't wound with the shield. And I can't attack while adjacent with the razor bow. So I'm going to choose not to do the bonus attack because I don't really feel like dealing with the fail response of whatever the BP card is. So that is unfortunately a bit wasted, but at least we're not dying from disemboweled. So then because we don't do the bonus attack, we don't chain break, so we still need to reflex out of the way here. Gain a fate, go here. And that will end that signature. Dang. I hate wasting bonus attacks. Okay, I would like to finish this fight. So let's activate Shadow Dancer. There's like, I think, a small chance I can finish the fight this round if I use time skip. But it's honestly unlikely. Wait, I need to reestablish my time anchor. 1, 2, 3. We are now in the blind spot. Oh, sorry. Beginning of a turn, she needs to gain another bleeding token. And she is at a grave trauma, so we're going to draw the top 3 grave traumas and reveal them. That gets removed. That gets removed. Wow, I had a lot of positive. Oh, there we go. We get a nice another disemboweled on top of the grave trauma deck. Good to know that we have that coming up. I do still need to awaken again at some point to be able to read the next Inward Odyssey. Or the, what was it, Inward Odyssey 48? Then I will gain a fate and use Ice Elixir to discard the bleeding condition. Then I will gain a rage and a fate to attack. Get deadly here, so we need +1, +2, 3, 4, 6. We need a 3 or higher on the dice here. Hell yes! Fuck yeah, let's go. Ooh, okay. So I get to draw the card here. This is our normal BP draw. This is going to be Tentacle Bristles. Otherwise, I can use Precise, which I'm going to do. Gain a fate, go up to 7 fate. And we are instead going to target the top card in the discard pile. So shuffle these back in. 3, 2, 1. BP3, but it's probably not going to matter. We're targeting the Evolutionary Gland again. We'll have 3 black, 2 red, and we need to get... was I supposed to get any tokens during the first ability window? I don't think so. We need to get 7 on the dice here. So of course I am going to do 1 at a time. Hell yeah, let's go! Wait, 7 on the dice or 8 on the dice? No, yeah, 7 because I have the power from Dehaka Blade. Okay, so that's 4. That is going to get black token. That's 2, that's 6. 7, 8, okay. Well, I kind of hate you, Harpy, so screw you. We're doing this again. That's plenty of power. So the critical effect, we're going to get a core, but we're also going to discard 1 rapid adaptation token from the board. If there aren't any, another Titan may move up to 5 spaces and perform a bonus attack. Dang, I saw bonus attack and I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get to do another bonus attack. But that's not the case. We get to discard a rapid adaptation token. Let's discard the one that's on shield. So that's going to come off. This is, I was mentioning this before in another video. For these critical effects, I play the discard from critical as like it just comes off the rapid adaptation board permanently. I think that kind of makes sense. Even though it technically goes against the definition of discard a little bit. Anyway, so then this will go into our wound stack. We'll go up to 7 wounds. Then, what else is happening? Yeah, I'm going to take the lowest BP card out. It's a BP 1. We'll shuffle 2 BP 3s in the deck here. 3, 2, oh gosh. 3, 2, 1, BP 3. AI 1 would come out, right? Yeah. AI 1 comes out, AI 3 goes in. 3, 2, 1. AI 2. And it was Shadow Dancer that was attacking. Clear these out. We're going to get black 3, closing 3. See, this is where it'd be nice to have that quantum for her, because then I could just immediately use time skip and have her attack again. Black 3, closing 3. What else did we have? We did not have a rouse token, so we're going to get 2 closing and a break. I can do pole position. Do I want to do that? Closing and a break. No, I don't think I have a good enough reason to want to do pole position, so I'm just going to stay there. It's very risky because I'm putting a lot of Titans really close. I'm just like, if we start the Primordial round, if we have to do another Primordial round, I might really be screwing myself over, but I'm kind of banking on the fact that hopefully we won't need to. May not be the wisest choice though. Yeah, but all that comes out. Shadow Dancer's turn is over. Then lastly, we'll go with Game Changer. Reestablish your time anchor. And we will start by attacking. Do I want to... Actually, do I want to use a Knight to Remember's level 2 ability to unexhaust somebody else's gear? I don't think I need to do it now. I think I can maybe wait until after my attack to decide that. And after I can also use the level 3 ability. So let's gain a fate, gain a rage. So 2 rage, 5 fate. And we have plenty of precision bonus, so we just need a 2 or higher here. Oh, also I needed to move rapid adaptation from slab sword to just regular sword there, so I can actually wound with this. So 2 or higher. That's a 1, that's a crit miss, so that is going to activate our adversary. Little counter over here to remind me. We'll use a closing token to re-roll this. Nope, screw that. I'm re-rolling this. I have not, I don't think I have done this at all in a fight. I am not taking 2 1s in a row. Nope, screw that. I'll take the 9. Yep, sue me. After re-rolling that black die and getting screwed over earlier, I am not taking a 1 in 100 chance of this happening. I have gotten double 1s before and I have accepted it. Not this time. Nope, screw you. That'll come out. Then we have a white and 3 black. No auto tokens, nothing else fancy here. Draw our BP3. Ooh. So we're gonna have to, let's see, this is 10. This brings it down to a 9. There's a token next to slab sword, so 10. We have to get 11 on the dice here. This is probably, we're not gonna be able to win this, I don't think anyway. Damn, okay. And I'm probably going to be rewarded from this with a noble draw. All right, so that's 5, 6, 7. Definitely using a black on that. That's 8 total, so we need a reroll. I mean, I guess I just want to maximize my black tokens. I don't want to get rid of that, but I'll use black on all 3 of these. Roll these one at a time. Awesome. That is another 3. That's another 2. That's another 3. That's got to be enough, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then black, 10, 11, 12. That's enough. You know, I'm just gonna tell myself this is just a timeline battle, so I don't care that I fudged that roll. But two crit misses in a row, really? I think no. I had so much. Okay, I'm gonna be like thinking about the fact that I did that, but whatever. It's a timeline battle. It's not like some important battle. It's not like this is an upcoming big battle that we'll be doing. That is not the end of the cycle battle, nor is it the Dehaka battle. For those ones, gotta play it clean. All right. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna feel guilty about this. So that wounds, it was not a crit. So we're gonna get pushback 3 and then discard the bleeding condition card. Well, we didn't have bleeding at all. Pushback 3, we had nothing to reduce pushback, do we? I don't see anything. 1, 2, we're gonna get pushed back onto that time frozen city, which I think is gonna destroy it. Yeah, because it is destructible, but we're on a sun air space, so we don't care. We're at war with them. We don't care if we destroy their city. So that's gonna get destroyed. And we're gonna, is that technically an obstacle? Does that count as me? Do I have to, well, I'm rock steady. I just wanted to know if I need to get 2 danger or 1. Oh, I do get an ambrosia from going through that iceberg as well. At least 1 danger. Do I need a second one? No, doesn't call it an obstacle on the time frozen city card, so I don't think I do. Oh, but then this is going to get destroyed as we go 1, 2, 3. This will put a generic double wound into our wound stack, bringing us up to 9 wounds. Then we'll remove the lowest BP, so it's going to be a BP2. Put in another BP3, shuffle these up. 3, 2, 1. BP3, dang. This is going to be tough. Then we put the one we just wounded on the bottom of that deck. Take out AI2, right? Because we don't have an AI1, we should not. AI3 goes in, that's our ultimate. Oh boy. 3, 2, 1. AI2. Who was just attacking? Game changer. Oh, actually, but this now brings me down to the question of how do we... The only person who I think we can actually get to attack and wound is going to be the Ascender. We would need to use Shalusalam. Let me see what the Kratos pool is going to look like before I decide how to handle this. I know I need to move the token technically now, but you can at least envision what the Kratos pool is going to look like. Oh yeah, that's right. We have Hope 4. So that makes me feel a lot better. 2, 3, 4. Rouse 1. That also makes me feel better. Then we get... Did I increase my rage for this? Probably. Yeah, I assume I did. Then we get a break and an opening. And then Elation 1. So we get another opening. We will let our Daedalus Flight exhaust with Cumbersome. We'll use Motivate 1. We have no choice but to put Ascender back there to try to get the killing blow in before the next Primordial round. And I think that means I'm ready to make my choice on Rapid Adaptation. I'll just move one of these over to Slab Sword so shield is not surrounded. Then these all come out. We haven't used our movement yet, so what we can do is I don't think this is really going to make a difference, but let's use a Night to Remember to unexhaust Daedalus Flight. Then we'll gain a Fate to do Semi-Sync. We use that new movement thing to get rid of the fatigue token. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just in case we get bleeding off of the Ascender. Now at the end of our turn, we get the movement fatigue back. And that ends Game Changer's turn. But actually, we can do time skip, even because it says even after you... Sorry, let me restart that. During a Titan turn, even after you used both of your actions, choose a Titan. That Titan may immediately perform an additional combat action. We're going to use that on Ascender. So Ascender will go and get a Rage, go up to 4 Rage and attack with Shalusalam. We're going to get 3 dice. We have +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 from being in the blind spot, so we need 4 or higher to hit. That's 2 hits. I'm not going to re-roll that crit die. We will Fate re-roll this one. Go up to 8 Fate. Oh boy. Let's roll this way. Damn. All right. That is just going to be 2 hits. We do get an auto break. And that's going to mean we have... I felt pretty good about this if we'd gotten a full hit. I feel way less good with less than a full hit. It's going to be 2 black, 2 red. We have to do BP3, which is going to mean we have to get 8 on the dice here. That'll be tough. Let's do this one at a time. Yeah, it's going to be tough when we roll blanks. It's 1, I guess 2 with the hope. That's 3, 4, 5. What is that total? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 1 more. We can re-roll 3 dice, so definitely keeping this. I guess I'll re-roll all 3 of these. Yeah, because we're not really shy on like hope and break. We just need more symbols. Oh gosh. Ugh, I don't know if that's gonna help. Okay, that might have gotten it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all we needed, right? Yeah, because we have net total of +1 to the AT. Whew, okay. That was intense. I was definitely worried about having to do another Primordial round. We could have survived. We would have been fine, I think. We would have had an AI2 on top. We would have been able to reposition... actually, no. We would not have been able to reposition Ascender out of the way here, so that was higher stakes than I thought, because we would have gotten the sealed condition, we would have died with it. Actually, then we could have used transient death to come back to life. Yeah, I think even if we didn't wound this, even if we didn't end it this Primordial round, I think our chances are pretty high of still ending this fight without any Titans dying. I've already kind of started going on to the debrief, but this will get a double wound in this stack, so we go up to 11 wounds. And that's, whatever, just put it on 0. This is nicer than our last fight with the Harpy that just seemed to kind of drag on. Even this took a longer, I don't know, I feel like every battle I do takes me longer than I expect because I just sit and think about my moves for probably longer than I need to. What went right, what went wrong in this fight? Well, obviously some things went right because we ended it in 2 Titan rounds. The planning up front with how we wanted to take that first bonus turn leading into the first Primordial round worked out well. I hope I'm not forgetting something like breaking a rule that I forgot about with how it's supposed to work, but I think also this should be off. I think I played everything correctly in that first setup. Like I think once you unless you get a bleeding token during that first bonus round or that first bonus turn, I think you should be able to clear off all the bleeding tokens before the first Primordial round. So I think we played that correctly. BP draws and AI draws were fine. I don't think anything was notably bad or notably great. I was hoping to get to some of the BP3s a little bit early, but some of my rolls were pretty bad. Like, it was nice to be crit on a BP3. It's always good to get a core out of it. But some of my power rolls were terrible. Like the one roll where I had like 5 reds and 3 of them were blank. That was brutal. The roll where I had to re-roll the black power die and I just rolled the same terrible side, like 1 in 36 chance on that. Then with crit missing twice in a row on Daedalus Flight, yes, I definitely cheated on that and undid it to give myself a little gimme there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it on camera so you can see me doing it because I don't want to do things unfairly off camera. Whatever. You can... I don't know. Just, it makes me feel, I guess, better if you're seeing me do it. Yeah, just terrible. Like that's so, I hate that of like we had so much extra precision and yet we still had, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of thematic in a sense. Like if this was a more critical fight, I would have just let it stand. But in a timeline fight, come on, that's bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. That was a fun fight. I think the thing that we could plan out the most, we did plan out well. We kept the Harpy towards the center of the board, so we didn't really have issues with our Titans just not being able to get into range to attack. Like we always had a Titan in range to go in, which is a combination of good planning and also a little bit of luck with just the Titans that we happened to put the Cryptexes on that had semi-sync. There was some planning in the beginning with like the Game Changer movement and all that stuff that I could have done better, but it didn't end up hurting us too much. But I'm going to call the video there. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed the battle. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Take care.